It's me, in Freetown, and a warm welcome to this edition of the Podium, which is coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation with me, Asmiuba. Coming up in today's edition of the Podium, 53% reduction in the rate of bribery in Sierra Leone. That is according to the Transparency International Global Corruption Barometer report. Caritas Freetown launches a mobile health project. How is it going to operate? We shall find out. And General Manager of TRANSCO Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea visits Sierra Leone. What's the outcome of this visit? We shall find out. All these and more, including your text messages, which you can be part of by inboxing us on 076 80 20 11. 076 80 20 11. That's the number you can send your text messages to. The program is Podium. From Freetown, the Director General of TRANSCO CLSG is in Sierra Leone. The Minister of Energy and TRANSCO, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea launched an updated journalist on the National Committee activities for the implementation of the environmental and social management and the resettlement action plans. Well, in the studio is the Director General himself, Mohammed Sherif. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, let's look at the main thrust of your visit to Sierra Leone.
Okay. The main purpose of my visit, me and my team, basically is to come to launch the National Committee on the implementation of the ESMP. By ESMP, I mean Environmental Social Management Program for the project. The Environmental and Social Management Program for the project is basically to handle the environmental issue regarding the project and also people affected by the project. The land routing of 1,349 kilometer stretch passing through Cote d'Ivoire into Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, those that will basically be affected by the project. We have to sensitize them, tell them, agree with the National Committee, use the national system, and we started in Sierra Leone to launch the program, and I can tell you it was very successful.
When we talk about TRANSCO CLSG, most people wonder what exactly TRANSCO CLSG stands for. You want to start to tell us exactly what it stands for?
TRANSCO CLSG is a transmission company. We are there basically as a vehicle to identify supply and demand. Already we have a demand component, which is Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. They are in dire need of energy supply, particularly electricity. And Cote d'Ivoire, they have got some excess capacity that they can make available initially for the project. And I just wanted to update you, the project, the CLSG project, has 4 financiers. So when the head of states of the 4 countries came together and they saw the need for this particular electricity, they decided to form TRANSCO CLSG, an independent institution that will be solely responsible to implement this project. It is a supranational institution with board of directors, and we have a diverse workforce from diverse background, and we are there to make sure we connect light to the lives of the people in the CLSG
When
country.
TRANSCO begins proper operations, now let's look at the cost of energy in these 3 countries. How is it going to be done? Are we going to see cheaper energy than it is now?
You are going to see very, not just cheaper, very cheap energy, not just reliable, but availability of energy, because that is key. And our projection is basically around 50 to 60% reduction of what you are paying today.
Now let's look at the environmental aspects. How many people are going to be affected?
I can give you the statistics. So far, we have in Sierra Leone over close to 1,000 households and so far along the land routing that will be clearly affected by the project. And the way it is, this report captures almost all the houses, the people that will be affected by the project, endorsed by the donor, the national authorities, everything clear, and the compensation fees, they've all been paid by the relevant countries.
Okay. What's going to be the role of the Minister of Energy in Sierra Leone in all of this arrangement?
Ministry of Energy is the sector ministry in the whole process. They've taken the leadership. They are going to draft the process, the national process, because we are using a national system. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Being the institution responsible for implementing a project, we deal with the Ministry of Energy for their guidance, their support, political commitment as well. And we've seen that, we've seen the demonstration of that. Ministry of Energy, we've worked with them to get the nomination of all members of the National Committee, and the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Energy was on Wednesday there on behalf of the Minister of Energy to launch the committee's work. And yesterday we adopted the operational roadmap. So the role of the Ministry of Energy is very vital, key in the process. And if you may know, the Minister of Energy is member of the steering committee, because we have a steering committee, we have project implementation committee. The 4 ministers in the 4 countries, they are members of the steering committee, and 1 person from the Ministry of Finance, 1 person from the Ministry of Energy, members of the implementation committee, just to ensure that we achieve the desired results.
Are we going to say uniform prices for both Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, or different prices for different countries?
We're going to see more or less, it may not be exactly the same. We have a band, out of which will be unacceptable. A band that will be acceptable, that will not necessarily increase the price for ordinary Sierra Leoneans, ordinary Liberians, ordinary Guineans. So the objective is, you may not have, say, for instance, in Liberia 50 cents, in Sierra Leone the 50 cents. No, the peculiarity in Liberia is quite different from that of Sierra Leone. The idea is we're going to establish a band. If we get in the energy from Cote d'Ivoire through the power purchase agreement with Sierra Leone, we are there as a middleman. We will charge transmission charges, transmission fee for transmitting the electricity, but we're going to establish a band out of which you cannot go. And that band is taking into account the affordability.
Well, thank you very much for continuing to. What are the sources of energy for TRANSCO CLSG in Abidjan? Where are they getting their energy from?
Well, like I told you from the beginning, our first source of supply is from Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is going to initially provide 83 megawatts, which is within their 10 years master plan, so it's fully secure.
What else? Are they getting it from thermal or hydro? Or what?
They are getting a mix of thermal and hydro.
So, yes.
When it comes to thermal, it's gas turbine and hydro. It's a mix, hybrid. We get some from Mount, which is the hydro, and within that too, you have a thermal. They've built gas turbine. A lot of places that it can also supplement, particularly during peak season.
I mean, 3 countries, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. Let's look, for example, in Sierra Leone. Is the whole country going to benefit from it, or is it specific parts of the country?
Well, what we do, when you look at our intervention in Sierra Leone, it crosses across the entire country. And this is why we're going to have 5 substations. And we are working collaboratively with the national utility, the energy ministry, and the transmission company, as well as the EDSA, the distribution company. When we bring our line in at the substations, they are going to feed into our lines. And this is why the African Development Bank, they are financing the rural electrification component. The villages along the way, about 7 districts along the way, they are all going to benefit from this particular project. So the provision is made through substation, which allow from, you take it from the high voltage down to medium to low voltage, then you distribute. Just yesterday, we had a meeting, very successful meeting with the transmission company to look at Sierra Leone master plan. And it may surprise you that we are currently using Sierra Leone master plan to also talk to other CLSG countries to see how best they can take into account into their master plan the CLSG, because Sierra Leone, you've already taken into account the CLSG in 2017. Come 2017, once the land is available, you have provision to connect it to our land.
So by 2017, we are going to see you in full swing operations.
2017, you'll begin to see light, particularly December 2017.
Well, thank you very much, Director General of CLSG TRANSCO. The program is a Podium. We are going for a break. After the break, the program continues. We are back with the program Podium, which is coming to you from Freetown, from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation with me, Asmi. Well, now let's go for messages. This first one says, with this initiative, how long will Sierra Leone has to wait to get the country blackout free? And would this be a cheaper light? It's coming from Zoe Jones. So it says, why does TRANSCO choose these 4 countries, and how can these countries pay back? And when it's coming from Malai Conte. One says, Alassane, with all the ACC is doing, why this result now? It's coming from Yeni Bangura. ACC, we were expecting a good result for you people. Can you explain your next strategies? Coming from Margaret Tucker. The final one for now says, light, light, light. I wish this one is true. We've long been disappointed with the promise. Mr. Sherif, I hope this work is coming from Malik. I will go start with you tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can tell the first, just to address the first question, I would say the light will be cheap, not just cheap, reliable, and available. And the good news is you are not only going to depend on Cote d'Ivoire. You know, it's a regional project. The West African Power Pool framework, you have various intervention. You have the OMVG, the Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, and the Gambia. They are doing 700 megawatts. And now our line is going to connect through the Linsan substation. So the way we're going to do it to make the people of Sierra Leone get electricity so quick, as we build, we energize the line. So we're going to feed into the substation in Linsan. So recently, just a couple of months back, the government of Guinea commissioned 245 megawatts electricity there. So as we build, and we're going to have 14 contracts, people will be working in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea at the same time. We are not going to do it sequentially. As they finish, you build, you energize, we begin to get the money. The second question, how are we going to pay back? TRANSCO is going to pay back. This is why yesterday in the parliament ratified the loan, the money that was given to TRANSCO, but through the government of Sierra Leone from the Nigeria Trust Fund and the African Development Fund. That money is going to be, or is already on lent to TRANSCO.
How many millions of dollars are we talking about here?
Altogether, close to 25 million USD, both of them. Now, we are going to pay back this money because it's already been on lent by Sierra Leone to TRANSCO. So the way we're going to pay, we're going to generate revenue through transmission service fees. And this is why we're going to have transmission service agreement with the involving countries. So we're going to pay back, TRANSCO CLSG is going to pay back, and we are not going to charge you more. We're going to charge you the bare minimum that will increase economic productivity.
What about taxes? How many taxes are you going to pay to the government of Sierra Leone?
The framework will be worked out within the agreement of the transmission service charge and also the power purchase agreement. All those framework will be worked out, and at the end of the day, Sierra Leoneans will get their fair share in terms of taxes. They will also get their fair share not to be burdened with high cost of electricity tariff.
Are the 3 countries going to have the same amount of energy distribution? I mean, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, or is one country going to consume more than the other?
Initially, the 83 megawatts will be distributed evenly, but that does not in any way stop Sierra Leone from negotiating with Cote d'Ivoire or even OMVG to get more. But to start the project going, somebody needed to come with initial capacity, which Africa did. So we have that agreement first, initial megawatt of 27.5, but Sierra Leone can negotiate 100 megawatts. We have a land capacity of 486 megawatts, the double circuit. One circuit is 243 megawatts. So it's just an opportunity. It's also an opportunity for you in achieving a president's dream or vision of having 1,000 megawatts. You could as well sell on the line to Liberia if Liberia needs it. It could also, be a net exporter of electricity. So it's a regional, it helps 2 purposes. Regional integration, spirit, it also help for economic skills.
On behalf of all my guests in the studio, Alassane Kagbo from the ACC and Grace Jones from Caritas, and also the Director General of TRANSCO CLSG, Mohammed Sherif. I've been your host and presenter. Asmi Till we join you again on Monday. Have a blessed and lovely weekend. That's how we descend.